jump straight in with a new game. There we go. Okay, so what's the name? Let's go with KINPUP. Okay. Now I remember the parts of this game are voiced, so I'll try and let them speak when they are. Here we go. Thank you, Luke. Okay, we've got a lovely animated cutscene. There he is, Professor Layton and his apprentice, Luke. And he's got a letter. Okay. Okay. No, certainly not. Okay, me too. Okay, what's the case? Baron Augustus Reinhold. Okay. The golden apple is hidden somewhere within this village, right? Okay. Right. No one could find the golden apple. Right. Okay. One final puzzle. I feel like they would have got on well. Well said, Luke. Right. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I wonder. Where are we going? Some mystère. Okay. No, 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 he's not. Right. I'm pretty sure, if I remember, he's an archaeologist. I think. Okay, okay. Let's get to town. is the description. For instance, if we take this one, we can see that the road goes this way, but it also forks off this way and joins up with this village. The same is the case for this one, which connects to that village. So, it has to be, yes, a bit of a wonky circle, but it has to be that village. And Luke has confirmed we are correct. First puzzle down. That's correct. The only village that isn't connected by roads to another village is the one in the upper left area of the map. It looks like you're all ready to start solving puzzles. Yes, yes. Okay. Let's keep our eyes peeled for that village. Of course he has. He's always one step ahead, Professor Layton is. Okay. And here we are, Professor Layton and the Curious Village. I love this music, but let's not hang about for too long. We have a mystery to solve. Okay, another animated cutscene. Okay. A mysterious, rickety-looking tower right in the middle of the village. Right. Interesting, says Professor Layton. It appears that this drawbridge is the entrance to the village. And we're stuck on the outside. What should we do, Professor? Oh, look over there. There's a man standing on the other side of the river. Maybe he can help us. Right, so we need to be tapping an area on the touch screen to investigate. I wonder if they have any hint coins this early on. What strange weather this village has. Let's try tapping some of these windows. Okay. I think we might not have any hint coins just yet. But tapping the car, Luke says not even the Layton mobile could make it across the river, huh? But of course, much as I adore the contraption, it is just a car after all. Right. Okay, well let's tap this fellow across the river. Good day, sir. We'd very much like to gain access to the village. Could you please drop the bridge for us? Do I look like the sort to go drop in the bridge for a bunch of fancy-looking outsiders? He says. Humph. You've got a lot of nerve. We received a letter of invitation from Lady Dahlia. I don't suppose that changes things, does it? From Lady Dahlia, he says. Well then, I'd love to lower the bridge for you, smarty pants. But the engine is broken and I can only move this blasted bridge with the hand crank. Humph. There's all these infernal slots I could put the crank in, but I ain't got a clue which one to use. Humph. So, brain also see the number 2 as a point, as a triangle on one of the corners. But the crank doesn't have a triangle on the corners, it's got a triangle on one of the edges. So that means that number 1 must be the correct slot. It's always nerve-wracking when Professor Layton comes up like that. You always wonder if you've missed something, maybe got it wrong. Nice job, now drop that bridge. Okay. That'll do it. Hold on a second, I'll let her down. I'm gonna say it again, I just don't feel right about letting outsiders into St. Mystere. But if you're Lady Dahlia's guests, I guess I'd better. At least give her my regards, you're here. Will do, Franco. Perfect, puzzle 2 solved. And here he goes, cranking the bridge. Perfect. We're gonna leave the Layton mobile on the road outside, I suppose. Okay, yes, we finally arrived in St. Mystere. I'm so excited, I wonder what mysteries await us here. Well, Luke, we'll find out soon enough. Just be careful not to let your excitement cloud your ability to analyze your surroundings. Okay. I say, Luke, this is a perfect time to explain how to move about during our investigation. Give the shoe icon in the lower right corner of the touchscreen a tap with your stylus. After you do this, a set of arrows will appear on the screen. Tap 1 to head in that direction. So, remember, when you want to move, just tap the shoe. Go on then, give it a try. Okay, well, before we go moving, let's chat to these 2 people. Right. Ingrid. Oh, hello, pleasure to meet you. Welcome to St. Mystere, where our local export is the puzzle. Oh, before I forget, you should know that every time you solve a puzzle, you earn a set number of picarats. The more picarats a puzzle is worth, the tougher the puzzle will be. They say lovely things happen when you gather enough picarats. Imagine that, a reward for solving puzzles. For practice, try this little riddle that your hat reminded me of. Think good and hard before you answer. Okay, the third puzzle, 10 picarats. It's called Strange Hats. Oh, how interesting. It says these 4 top hats are all the same height, but the length of each brim is different. In other words, the hats are equally tall, but vary in width. One of these 4 hats has a brim and height that are the same length. Which hat is it? Well, I think we're gonna have to go by eye. We don't seem to have any other clues to go off of. I think if I were to go with my instinct, I'd probably say D. Although the brim looks very long, I think it's a bit of an optical illusion. to eyeball it. Well, the next widest is A. Let's go with that. Third time's the charm. Okay, let's see what the solution text is. Yeah, that's right. This is a very famous optical illusion. An optical illusion is a visual phenomenon where your eyes perceive things differently than they actually are. There are dozens of known optical illusions. What's the world coming to when you can't even trust your own eyes? Yeah, D and C are wider than they are tall. Okay. Oh, bravo. Well, Ingrid, it took us 3 tries. I think you've got the hang of this. If you try your options one by one, you'll eventually find the answer. However, you'll also encounter lots of puzzles that can't be solved by simply trying all the answers. If you answer incorrectly, the picarets you earn from a puzzle decrease. Tough stuff. It goes to show you how important it is to think for yourself and find the answer on your own. Well then, best of luck to you. I'll be rooting for you too. Thank you for the advice, Ingrid. I'll keep that in mind. I wonder if Ingrid has anything else to talk to us about. It's important to think things through for yourself. Keep at it, she says. Okay, and what about this gentleman here? This is Stashen. What a dandy set of fellows you are. Must be new to St. Mystere, eh? The name's Stashen Scarfen, and I've got some advice for you. Tap that barrel back there with your stylus. Don't ask questions, just do it. Alright. Is that this barrel? Oh, perfect. We've got a hint coin. Felt good, didn't it? Around these parts, that's what we call a hint coin. When you find yourself up against a really tough puzzle, you'll want a hint. Trust me on this one, fellows. And it's just those times when you'll want to use a hint coin to purchase a hint. I bet you think puzzles will be a breeze now, eh? Think again. There are a limited number of hint coins in this village, so don't go wasting coins on any old riddles, because if you do, when you come across a real stumper, you'll be sorry. Really sorry. Okay. Mind you, hint coins won't always be hidden inside barrels. Check any object that seems suspicious. Got all that? Good. Be seeing you around. Thank you for the tutorial on finding hint coins. Let's go tapping and see what we can find. Tap, tap. Layton says, I wonder if that inn gets many guests out here in the country. Is that the same on all the windows? Yeah. How about this chimney that seems to be smoking? No. How about these windows? Tap, 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 tap. This doesn't look like it's going to open anytime soon. And what about the tall tower in the background? There's something very curious about that tower. Okay. Shall we try and head in? Okay. explain how to go about saving your game. First, tap your stylus on the trunk in the upper right corner of the touchscreen. This trunk contains all manner of information that you can access by tapping the icons. Touch the icon marked Save to save your game. Tap the journal icon to read over notes about our adventure in St. Mystere. Next we have the puzzle index icon. Tap it to view all the puzzles you've encountered. Puzzles you've solved have a tick next to them. Puzzles you've seen but haven't solved are blank. You can retry any puzzles you've solved from this screen. To retry puzzles that you haven't solved yet, you must return to the actual site of the puzzle. Don't be afraid to use the items in the trunk to help our investigation. It'll be second nature soon enough. Enough explanation for now. Let's make our way to Reinhold Manor. Okay. An arrow marks our path on the map, so all we need to do is head in the correct direction. Lead the way, Professor. Okay. I wonder if we'll run into any other puzzles on our way. Reinhold Manor awaits. Make your way to Reinhold Manor on the east side of the village. Okay, let's go ahead and save. Right. Well, I don't know who Peter is. Okay, let's pick. Let's just overwrite this one. Okay, yeah. Okay, right. Let's do a couple taps just to see if we can find some hint coins. Tap. No hint coin, but maybe a puzzle. That clock tower looks rather worse for wear, Layton says. Speaking of clocks, I've got just the puzzle for you. Okay, number 5. Wow. 50 picarats. This might be a tough one. It's called Clock Hands. It says, an ordinary analog clock has 2 hands. With the longer hand moving faster around the face of the clock. Assuming that this clock keeps perfect time, how many times will the long and short hands pass over each other between 12 noon and 12 midnight? You can scribble notes in any open space on the touchscreen. When you have your answer, tap Input Answer. Next you will go to an answer input screen. Write 1 digit at a time. Make sure that the digits have been recognized correctly and then tap Submit. Okay, so a bit of an open-ended one. So, let's say that this clock is currently on 12 noon, and so the shorthand, which represents the hours, will need to go all the way around once for it to be 12 midnight. Of course, the long hand, which is the minutes, moves faster and will move first. So, when it comes all the way back round up to 12, the long hand will have moved to 1, and it won't have crossed just yet. I'm kind of assuming it doesn't count right now when they're touching, but we'll keep it in mind. Anyway, so between 12 and 1, they won't have crossed. However, when the shorthand then moves around again, it'll cross the long hand once, as the long hand makes its way to 2, and the same will happen for every hour. Every hour. So, it'll happen once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times. And will it happen 11 times as the hour hand moves on up? I think they'll meet again. I wonder if it counts that as passing over. Interesting. suppose it's either potentially 11 if it doesn't count, or maybe 13 if it does. Shall we go ahead and try 11? 1, 1, submit. Okay, fingers crossed. Oh no, we've got something wrong there. That's okay. Let's try it again. Give it another think. Okay. Okay, right. Yeah, okay. I wonder if a hint might help us here. Let's give a hint a go. Oh, we've got 12 hint coins. I think we can use one. The hands pass over each other once an hour, so in 12 hours they will pass 12 times, or will they? Well, no. I don't think they will. Let's think about it again. So we already checked this first hour when the minute hand spins round up to 12, and the hour hand has moved to 1, and they haven't passed, unless it counts this position. Then the minute hand will move back round to 12 as the hour hand moves to 2, and they will cross once, and then again on 3, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I wonder, is it only 10 and not 11? So we'll be at 10, or when the hour hand is on number 11, and then the minute hand will move around again, and they will meet back up at 12, but they won't technically pass. Okay, I think I'm more confident on 10 being the answer now. Yeah, let's submit that. Perfect, perfect. Okay, that was a tricky one, That's right, the hands pass over each other 10 times. If you think about it, the answer is obvious, but you might have been tricked by the question. No, just miscounted. The hands pass